Hey, it's Suzanne. It's the first week in December and I wanted to give you guys a animal update, a livestock update at the farm here. And look at what I got myself today. It is a early Christmas present and I'm so excited about using it. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the animals. Still have the meat birds in the same spot. Hashtag range fed fail. Usually we move it a few times, but it just didn't happen this go around. Anybody that's raised Cornishes before knows that they get big super fast. So what I've been doing is taking hay and then putting it in there, and just I keep building up layers. So what's on my to-do list today is to pull some weeds and feed them the weeds. That way I get the range-fed nutrition without the range-fed work. And this is actually called rattlesnake root or crow's knees. And I don't know that it's not making tubers right now, but they'll really enjoy this. So this is a relative of the mint. It's in the Lamiaceae family. All right, now off to the backyard. We have the chickens and turkeys free ranging, and usually one or two or more turkeys will actually get out of here. They can fly. I need to trim their wings. I did a cull a few weeks ago again of chickens, and I think I ended up culling 10 chickens. A couple of them got away from me while I was catching them. That one back there is one of the ones that got away. I do not think she's laying eggs. I've got pretty good instincts. It's not really instincts, it's a skill for telling which aren't laying anymore. It's a combination of just knowing how old that chicken is, or being able to estimate it by knowing the chicken itself, and then looking at the overall condition of the bird. A bird that looks pretty is not necessarily a good indicator. I wouldn't use it at all as an indicator. Sometimes they could have fat on the inside of their body cavity. Will you please be quiet? I am trying to do a vlog. Will you please be quiet? Hey, hey. What did I just say? Hush it, hush it. Anyway, if they get too fat, they will store the fat inside of their body cavity, and it takes up so much space in their abdomen that then they can no longer lay eggs. And so out of the 10, I think there was one chicken that I had misjudged that was actually still a viable chicken. And so that, that's not too bad. 9 out of 10, those are pretty good results. And I expect as I get older and wiser, that will just improve. The silkies, I culled 2 silky roosters, and I already ate one of them. I'm sorry, I culled 3 silky roosters. And then just this week, yesterday and the day before actually, they started laying eggs. So pretty excited about that. The eggs are teeny tiny. Oh, another thing you can do that works really good, I did that this year. I don't always remember to do it, but I did do it this year. You can put leg bands. I don't know if you see the green leg band on that hen. You can put a different color leg band for each year. And I would say, unless you've got, I don't know, the time to just keep animals that don't earn their keep, I would cull after about 3 years. I would just do a blanket cull. Now I do have some hens that are still laying eggs after that time, And you can tell by looking at their vent if it's moist and wide and open. If it's dry and shriveled up, they're not laying eggs anymore. And I do like to keep those and actually keep babies from those because it's so noisy. When you do that, you're selecting for egg production longevity. Alright, so here's the Pekin ducks, and I started getting eggs from them 2 days ago also. I got an egg the day before yesterday, and then I got an egg this morning. I meant to keep 1 male and 3 females. I accidentally kept at least 2 males. And there's one that I can't quite tell. Alright, so a telltale sign of a male is that the tail feathers are curled. They're gonna run from me. This guy right here is a male. They have like a little curl. And so is that one. These first 2 are males. Also, males tend to have a whisper, kind of hissy quack. The females are very noisy. Now this one doesn't have a curl, but her quack is not as loud. Ooh, poopy. Her quack is not as loud as the other female. So time's gonna tell with her what she is. All right. And we're gonna walk back here. As you can see we still have green grass. Green grass. We've had a few light frosts, about 31 or 32 degrees, just for a couple of hours first thing in the morning. But that's all we get. She's my sweet girl. Look at this sweet girl. She's so sweet. Alright, so I got everybody bred that needs to be bred. Betty Jo was actually hard to breed because her boyfriend, my purebred Nubian buck, I don't know if you can see him, he just was not ready to do his job yet. He was born in February on Joe Cane Day, which is why his name's Joe Cane. So he's March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. I mean, he's 8.5. Stop, Lily. Lily wants attention. He's 8.5, 9 months old. He was willing. I don't want to say kind of willing. He was willing. He just was not bold enough for Betty Jo. Betty Jo's very bossy, very sassy, and he wasn't getting the job done. He had 4 tries. And so I actually put Betty Jo with Marty, who is my little Nigerian dwarf buck, because the last time she went into heat, she and Marty were looking longingly at each other. Joe Cane was trying to headbutt Marty to the fence because we had them separated that time, but really wasn't paying Betty Jo the attention he should have. And you can see, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of his secondary sex characteristics yet. He doesn't have his bushy fur. He's just now starting to get some longer fur. He's a real sweet boy though. He's just now starting to get the little bittiest start of a beard. Marty's had a beard since he was 4 months old. So he has been ready to go. So anyhow, I put him and Betty Jo together, and he immediately was trying to do his job. But he's so little. I think he's 10 months old now. He was born in the very beginning of January, I believe. He's so little that he couldn't get it done. So what I did, essentially he needed a step stool. So I put him up here, and I put Betty Jo right there, and I gave her something to eat, and I turned her rear end that way, and Marty got it done. Probably a little TMI, but if anybody else out there has a similar situation and all they have is a little buck, then they can get the job done if they're willing. So I did have 2 confirmed matings with that method, so we have to wait until her, oh God love her, we have to wait until her heat cycle comes around, which is in 2 weeks I believe, to see if she goes into heat again. Yeah, hey baby. Sweet girl. These two are bred one day apart. I would have loved to have them all bred at the same time, but unfortunately, with the snafu with Betty Joe, she's not bred till 2 months after they were. And then Roselle was too young to breed with them. So I waited another month and a half before I bred her. So the first two are together, Corey and Trix. They're going to be due around February 28th, March 1st. And then Roselle is due about a month and a half later. And then Betty Joe's due about 2 months after the first breeding. So, and then these two goats over here, that's Totes. He's a registered Nigerian dwarf buck. And that is Rudy, and he's a wether. And the reason why I have those two together, I did have Rudy with the other boys, and he disliked it so much that he climbed over the fence, not once, not twice, but 3 times to get away from them. And he can climb over any of these fences, but he doesn't. So that lets you know how rambunctious they were being toward him. Totes is in there by himself because they were picking on him as they came into rut. Let's see if we can get this turkey to go back where she needs to be. They were picking on him because, no baby, turkeys aren't bright. I don't know if the rest of you have trouble with dumb turkeys, but I do. Go on. There you go. These guys are pretty stupid. Anyway, he looked like he was holding his own, but when I went to feel his body condition, even though he's super fluffy, that's something to watch out with furred animals. They might look like they look good, but you have got to put your hands on them and feel and know what their bodies should feel like. So he was feeling what I like to call penny. I don't know if that's a word or not, or I'm sure somebody else uses it, but it's just where his pin bones and his hip bones and his rib bones are just all sticking out. And I call that penny, and that's how he felt. Didn't look that way, but he felt that way. So he's over there with a special diet. Rudy's getting fat off that diet, but yeah, whatever. He's a wether. If he has a weight problem, I can, it's not going to be a big deal. Rabbits are doing good. I need to clean out their cages. I'm not going to take you to see them. The cow is doing fantastic. She's due to come into heat again this weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday range. She came into I finally got enough weight on her where she came into a really strong heat the last time around, and I'll try to catch some of that behavior this time, but there was a lot of mounting behavior between those two. That's my cow, that's her steer calf, and we did do the disc budding ourselves on him using caustic. It worked great. I'll put a link to the method that we used, and we also castrated him ourselves using band. I was worried it didn't work at first because he does have a fat pocket, but I guess that's pretty common with steers. I just expected it to be flat. Pigs are doing good. Their pig pen is a pig pen. It looks really gross. Been feeding them pumpkins. Yeah. I mean, you can see. Look at they dig holes. There's a hole down there they've been sleeping in. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. I think they probably weigh about 110 right now. We haven't had any trouble with them other than them originally getting out right when we put them in. So the water's working good. They do drink a lot of water. I have to fill that twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. And they don't go through all of it, but they almost go through all of it. So I would say, if I had to guess, they're probably drinking about between 8 and 10 gallons of water a day between the 3 of them. And then their feeder, when they were little, they couldn't lift they could lift it, but they didn't feel comfortable. I think they felt like somebody was going to get them while they had their head in there. But now they don't care. They lift it, they eat, keeps the food clean. All right. So that's my animal update. And until next time. Mr. Hamburgers. He says he'll see you next time.